Hi, this is Arthur Hill, Senior Technical Analyst with StockCharts.com. This instructional video will show you how to use shapes in your annotations. Here are the topics in the timeline for today. We'll start with drawing rectangles, squares, ellipses, circles, and triangles. And then we'll show you how easy it is to duplicate and modify those shapes. We'll show you how to change the colors and the opacity. We'll show you how to change the thickness of the lines and to add rounded corners or sharp corners. And finally, we'll show you how to adjust the fill mode. Drawing rectangles and squares on your sharp chart. Drawing a shape annotation is just like drawing any other annotation. First, we move over to the toolbar, and you can see the shape annotation there with the square. You select that annotation and you'll get a little pop out that gives you three choices, and I will choose rectangle. You move to the spot where you want to draw that rectangle, click, hold down, and drag that, and you will have your rectangle. Once that appears, you're going to see four yellow handles on that rectangle, and these can be used to adjust that rectangle as you see fit. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can also click in the middle of that rectangle to move it to another spot and then further adjust it. Chartists can draw a perfect square by starting with a rectangle. So draw your rectangle, and then you will see the yellow handles. And you'll hold down the Shift key and drag one of those yellow handles to create a perfect square. Then you click the Select button and you can move that square to where you would like it. Chartists can rotate a shape by holding down the Control key or Command key on the Mac and clicking on one of the yellow handles and then dragging those handles as you want to rotate it. And then I can make the shape smaller or larger to fit within the price range. Chartists can easily duplicate a shape by holding down the Control key, clicking in the middle of a line, and then dragging, and that shape will duplicate. Once again, hold down the Control key or the Command key for a Mac, click and drag to duplicate. You can also easily duplicate a shape by selecting it, holding the Control key down, and then hitting the D key. And finally, if you want to create a filled shape, go over to the tool, the Shape tool, click on the shape. I'll choose rectangle. Hold down the Command key when you're drawing, and then you will create a filled shape. And a little bit later on, we'll show you how to change the shading. Adding ellipses and perfect circles to your sharp charts. First, I will go to the Shapes button, and I will select Ellipse. And then I will go to the spot I want to draw, and I can draw the ellipse. You'll see four handles, and I can use those handles to adjust the ellipse. I can click on the line in the middle between those handles to move the entire ellipse. If we want to create a perfect circle, I will hold down the Shift key and then click on one of the yellow handles and then drag that handle, and I will get a perfect circle. We can easily duplicate this annotation by holding the Control key down, clicking on the annotation, and then dragging. Once we've drawn an ellipse, we can fill and unfill it by holding down the Control key and dragging one of the yellow handles. So I hold the Control key down, click the yellow handle, drag, and it becomes unfilled. Click and drag, and it becomes filled. And we'll show you shading a little later. Drawing triangles on your sharp charts. The triangle works a little bit differently. First, we select the annotation, and then we move to where we want to draw that triangle, and we click 3 times where we would like that triangle to be. And after clicking, the triangle will appear. You'll see the yellow handles, and you can move those handles to modify the triangle. Once you have drawn an annotation, it remains active, so I can draw another triangle right away. Once the triangle is selected, Chartist can move that triangle by clicking in the middle of one of the lines to move it. If you would like to fill that triangle, hold down the Control button, click one of the yellow handles and drag it, and it will fill. If you want to unfill, just do that again. Control and drag the yellow handle. And you can easily duplicate the triangle by hitting the Control button, holding it down, clicking and dragging the triangle. Choosing your colors and modifying the opacity. Stock Charts offers a wide array of colors that you can use on your shapes. First, I need to select the shape to make sure it is active, and I will click the Select button there, and then I will select the shape to make it active. You can see the yellow handles, meaning it is active. Over on the left, I have the 3 most recently used colors, and then I have a drop down to select even more colors. So I can choose red and click choose, and I will have a red rectangle. There's also some recently used colors below, and then there's a color palette where you can get a more customized color. At the bottom, you will see a slider, and that slider can be used to set the opacity of that shape. Modifying the line widths and the corners. Chartist can modify the line widths by choosing from the top toolbar there. You see the blue highlighted line width is currently active line width, and I can make that thicker or I can make it thinner. And I can also make the corners sharp or rounded. Adding shades to your shape using the fill mode. The fill mode can be found at the top navigation bar on the right. If I click the solid button, then I will get a solid fill on my shape. And if I click the outline, I will get an unfilled shape. When you have a solid fill, you're going to have to adjust the opacity of that filling. And go over to the color palette, and you will see the slider at the bottom right. And I can slide this to change the opacity of that fill. So now we can see the price action or the bars behind that. And that concludes this instructional video for ChartNotes. Be sure to check out our other instructional videos, and thanks for watching.